What's going on, guys? Welcome to Dime Dropper, episode 52 of our 24-minute recaps. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe on all platforms at YouTube at Dime Dropper Podcast, Apple Podcasts, follow us on Spotify, and of course, to follow us on all social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and now just recently on TikTok. So go follow us on TikTok as well. I still haven't posted my video on my lazy ass, so I got to do that. Tonight, simple, quick, short, both Los Angeles teams in action, both Los Angeles teams getting a victory, so it's a great night for Los Angeles. Except, yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. Who do we start with? Let's start with the Clippers, my Clippers, in their second of a back-to-back, bouncing back against the Grizzlies, and they played like trash yesterday. I called it the worst loss of the season because we had Paul George and Kawhi and played that way. But tonight, you could tell from the jump that the energy was better. The communication was better. They were fighting through screens. They actually looked like they wanted to win, basically. And in the beginning, though, first couple of minutes, I was getting really mad at Kawhi for turning the ball over. I was like, oh, my God, is it going to be one of those games again? And then all of a sudden, both Kawhi and Paul George, again, it starts with them. It's all about your leaders, and that's going to apply to the next game we talk about too. But Kawhi and Paul George were hitting screens, and they were turning the corner on them and trying to get downhill, trying to see some burst. They did exactly what I said we didn't do or couldn't do yesterday, and that was to get downhill. That was to turn the corner hard and try to get to the basket. And Paul George and Kawhi were getting shots around the basket. Kawhi had a nice dunk in the first quarter, but we didn't end the quarter too well, which caused the Grizzlies to get closer to us, and it was only a 2-point game. 32-30 after one, but especially the end of the second quarter. I thought the Clippers did a much better job executing. I thought they were moving better with the ball, moving the ball better, moving better without the ball. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't like some of the earlier performances of the season where the ball's just flying all over the place, but it was much better than yesterday. There was much more of a sense of urgency, but I thought that it was made because of our defense. I thought that Serge Ibaka and Zoo, but mostly Serge, I'd say, did a really good job of adjusting to what we did wrong yesterday. We didn't go to drop coverage as much, but when we did, they stepped up, put a hand up, and showed a little bit more. John Morant missed a lot more floaters today. He was 7 of 20 and 2 of 6 from 3. So I thought we did a better job there. I thought that Serge was plus 14, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He had 2 blocks as well. One was a beautiful one at the rim. I think it was on Brandon Clark or Jonas Valanciunas, one of the two. But Serge was really good. He was knocking down his shots, not his threes, but he was knocking down his other shots. And I thought that he was showing better. I thought Zoo was showing better, but I thought that it was just better because we went to more switches. I tweeted before the game I wanted to see us switch more. We did. Nick Batum was a big part of that. He switched on to a lot of different guys. He moved his feet well, played good one-on-one D. And I thought that Paul George and Kawhi got through screens well. I thought Beverly, his energy was up. But most importantly for Beverly, he was knocking down shots because you know his energy is going to be decent on defense as long as he doesn't foul too much. He only fouled twice. And he was 4 of 8, 3 of 7 from 3. So I'll take that all day from Bev. Also chipping in with 3 assists as well. But I thought that Paul George and Kawhi getting into the paint caused, the defense to collapse on them. And there were even times where Kawhi Leonard, he didn't even fully clear a guy or get by a guy, but just getting into the paint. And people, I think there's a big problem with a lot of teams in today's NBA. They don't let players, they don't let their defenders go one-on-one enough. I think sometimes they overhelp or just help unnecessarily or sag off their men unnecessarily. I mean, here's the thing. You got to realize these guys are the best three-point shooters that we've ever had in the league, or the three-pointers. There's the more three-point shooters on the court than ever before. So, sometimes you just got to stay on your man. And they were letting threes up, and we weren't hitting them. That was the only reason why this game wasn't blown open. But in the end of the second quarter, Paul George hit a 3, and I think Pat Bev after that, and then Kawhi. So we ended the half on such a good note. Some of those were caused from good defense, and then we got out in transition to get some easier baskets. I thought Dylan Brooks returned back to earth today. 5 of 14, 1 of 4 from 3, and in general, they just returned back to earth. Grayson Allen didn't hit a field goal, 0 of 4. That was a little bit rare for him, I'd say. Just wasn't a good night for him. And overall, the Grizzlies only shot 40%, 32% from 3, in large part to our defense, knowing when to switch, knowing when not to. But overall, a lot of just missed shots for them. And I thought that because our offense was better, it got us to be set on defense. It's all about the energy. Kawhi was hitting his jumper. Paul George was hitting his jumper. even though the game was being called a little bit loose again. I like the physicality they were allowing. The physicality was so much that John Morant even got so annoyed to the point where he got ejected in the fourth quarter. Every time that, the Grizzlies were hanging around because the Clippers kept turning the ball over. But check how many turnovers we had. But we kept turning the ball over, keeping them in the game. We had 17 turnovers, so that's entirely too many. They scored 13 points off those turnovers. Points in the paint, 50 for the Clips, 54 for the Grizz. But I thought that we did a good job responding every time they tried to make a run. I thought Kawhi was making some big plays. And then at the end, it was Batum that shut the door. His corner threes, man, those things look like they don't even just make it every time. It seems like he swishes it every time. And his defense is just smart. He's intelligent. He knows where to be. He knows when to help. He knows who to switch on and who not to switch on. And you got to give our big guys credit for stepping up. And how could I forget to mention Terrence Mann, who came in and gave us a big boost, 14 points, I believe, 13 points, taking it to the basket with confidence. The way he is moving out there and the way he was playing defense again, getting over screens, putting pressure on the ball handler, 13 points and 6 rebounds in just 18 minutes of play on 6 of 8 from the field. I thought that Reggie was, he only played 11 minutes, so he was quieter. I didn't think Senior was that good. I think this was a bad trip to Memphis for him. We needed him to play better against Milwaukee for sure. He was only 1 of 6 and played 23 minutes, but I thought his activity on defense wasn't bad. 4 points, 3 turnovers for him is too many. Lou Williams, a decent night for him, definitely. Making shots, getting to the basket. He was also turning the corner and got 4 assists because of that penetration. 17 points on 6 of 12 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. Kawhi Leonard got to the line 11 times and made all 11 of those free throws. That made such a difference for us. 17 of 18 at the line. The only missed free throw was from Zoo, who had 8 rebounds to go along with 3 points. I thought he was okay. But Paul George, 13 points doesn't do him justice. 8 assists to go along with those 13 points. Kawhi Leonard is my player of the game because he was aggressive and he did exactly what I said that he didn't do yesterday. We are undefeated, the Clippers, on second half of back-to-backs. And now we move on to 24-11, and we got the tough Milwaukee Bucks, hopefully without Drew Holiday, on Sunday on ABC. So a good win for the Clips, a great bounce-back win. We made those adjustments. Ty Lue did a good job. Ty Lue took accountability because he's a great coach, and he knows he doesn't make excuses like Glenn Rivers. Let's move on to the Lakers and the Trailblazers, the second matchup of them this season. We talked about the first one when it happened. The Blazers coming in at Staples Center and winning. That was with a fully healthy Laker team, but also a fully healthy Blazer team with Yusuf Nurkic and CJ McCollum and Zach Collins, all of which didn't play tonight. But the Lakers, even though they were without Anthony Davis, they got somebody big coming back tonight, and that was Dennis Schroeder. And oh boy, did he make a difference. His pressure on the ball was back. His ability to play in pick and roll was back. And the ability for LeBron to go to the bench without worry is also back. I thought the beginning of the game, like the first 6 minutes, the Lakers came out awful. Same old that we've seen the last couple of games. Lazy, not talking. LeBron was late on his rotations, not rebounding. Who else? Marc Gasol was getting, Cantor was getting offensive rebounds over him. Wes Matthews, it wasn't Wes Matthews that started. But yeah, that was just the start of the game. Then the Lakers came back, and you saw a quick change, and it starts with who? Their leader, LeBron James. LeBron comes in, and it took him a while to get going offensively, but he started making some great – so the Lakers strategy, right? Dame started out really hot. I think he had like 15 in the first quarter, finding his one-on-one matchups and using his high screens. But what started happening was the Lakers did what I said is what I think the best way to guard pick and rolls, even in today's NBA. You see a lot more of it in older eras. Hard hedge, throw 2 at the ball handler, recover. The only problem is with the Lakers is when Cantor got the ball, he's big. So he can shoot over most guys that are going to rotate from the weak side or from the corners, and that's going to leave shooters open. When you run those pick and rolls from the top, that's what happens. And I thought that LeBron did a really good job. This is what his specialty is on defense. Weak side help. He came over and rotated and got multiple blocks and multiple steals. I thought Morris did a good job of this. I thought THT did a great job of this. He got a couple of blocks. LeBron, look at the stat line in terms of defense. 4 steals, 3 blocks. He's been really poor defensively the last couple of games. He really stepped it up tonight. As I said, it all starts from the leader. I thought that LeBron grew into the game offensively. He was making great reads. Everybody does hedge and recover with LeBron because you can't let him get downhill. And I thought that more often than not, the Lakers are making the right plays with it. KCP, he only got 5 shots off and only 5 points. He was okay, I thought. Morris, not too great. Gasol, not too great, but I thought it was the bench that really gave the Lakers the lift. Caruso, THT, Kuzma on the defensive end and rebounding. He had 5 offensive rebounds. and 11 rebounds total. But Lakers went into halftime down 3, but it was really the third quarter where they really clamped up the pressure because Gary Trent Jr. started out well, but as the game went on, they took Cantor out of it by just rotating well, and none of the other shooters could make shots. It's exactly what we saw in the glorified Summer League when the Lakers played the Blazers and beat them in 5. They throw 2 at Lillard, and he's ineffective. Lillard was making all the right passes. I mean, that's all he can do. He can get his team the right shots, but they were struggling to make shots. And yeah, the ball pressure, Dennis Schroeder and Alex Caruso, you got to give him a lot of credit, man. They threw 2 at him every time. Schroeder's ball pressure cannot be understated. It makes them throw the over-the-top pass. They prefer the over-the-top pass to the cross-court pass, the Lakers, because they don't want the shooters getting the ball. Gary Trent, Robert Covington of the world. They'd rather have Enes Kanter getting the ball. So that's the way they played it, and they played it right. And these big men in today's NBA, they're not reliable from like 10 feet out. The thing is, Kanter, he doesn't have a great jumper. I mean, he had signs of it in Oklahoma City, but he's much better around the rim with deep positioning. I'm not comfortable with him turning and shooting like a traditional power forward used to, like a Pau Gasol or even like a Marc Gasol in his prime. I wouldn't want to run, though. You don't run those types of schemes with Marc Gasol. That's what the Warriors did in the finals in 2019, and they got burned off of it. So the Lakers did that through too hard. LeBron came and rotated so well. THT the same. Montrader I thought was great. His activity was great. He finished around the rim, and you know what he's going to give you offensively. 17 points for him on 9 rebounds on 7 of 12. He was a plus 22, the highest in the game for both teams. Montrader, Harrell. I don't like the guy, but you got to give him the props when he plays well. He's just had a good season overall. Not as involved as he would be with the Clippers. As I said, his role was going to decrease. These idiot Laker fans that were in my comments on YouTube were telling me he's going to get even better. No, he's not. He's going to get maybe less bad because they're going to minimize his role. He's not going to get better, at least not statistically. His average is down 4 points from last season, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's playing better. I think he's doing exactly what he's did in the regular season for the Clippers. Play with a lot of energy, play hard. He's clearly tried to make a point that he's better at defense than people give him credit for. Like tonight, he had some moments where he had nice double teams on Melo coming over from the weak side, doubling. And the Lakers did a great job on Melo. I thought he was poor. He just couldn't hit his shots. And, when Melo doesn't hit his shots, I mean, what's he good for, really? So Lakers, that defense in the third quarter was typical Laker basketball. It really helps to have that ball pressure from Dennis Schroeder and for the Blazers players to really go cold. The Lakers started creating turnovers, and that started getting LeBron downhill and getting him, how LeBron does when he's in fast breaks. He either gets to the rim, gets fouled, or he kicks it out to a shooter. And that's what was happening tonight. And the Lakers bounce back. They end the 4-game skid. THT, I thought he came in with some great energy, got to the cup, made some nice dishes, and overall just made things happen out there. Good rotations as well from him. We read the lines. LeBron was the player of the game, back to his MVP form. Didn't like what Billy Mack said, though. It says he's the frontrunner for MVP. Sounds like a complete homer. He's completely moved down that ladder. He's not the frontrunner for MVP anymore. That's just bias. But he played like the level that you expect him to play if he wants to win that award tonight. If he played like that every night, though, guys, yes, he would be MVP. That's not the case, though, guys. If he played with that effort level on both ends of the floor every night, difference. He clearly tried to score more tonight. It was evident. It was obvious. You know what I'm saying? You guys, there's no statistic or advanced metric for intensity, effort, and alertness. There's no metric for that. That's not going to show up in the advanced stats. LeBron James, 28 points, 11 boards, 7 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks. He did it all, plus 9. 11 at 21 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Didn't shoot up from the line, though, 4 of 8, but it was a small caveat. Or a small, yeah. Dennis Schroeder, 22 points in his return. Not much of the other categories. A steal, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 6 of 14, 9 of 9 from the line. His ability to get to the basket, turn the corner, just be a threat without LeBron is huge. And it was a good win for the Lakers to snap the skid. They are now 23-11 in third place. The Phoenix Suns, I'll probably be watching like an all possessions recap of their game. I don't really feel like watching their full game against, I don't know what weak team they played tonight, but it was a team that I expected them to beat, and they did so. So I'm happy for the Suns. I would like them to take the place of the Lakers and end up the 3 seed, and the Lakers be the 4, but we'll see. Shout out to the Miami Heat, by the way, my favorite Eastern Conference team, to beat the Utah Scum Jazz. That is always a great occasion. So I'm happy to see the Jazz lose. Jimmy gets buckets. The Jimmy G buckets. The G stands for gets. Shout out to Stacey King. Jimmy Butler with 33 points tonight. And I'm going to say one thing before I end. Last night, and how many times did I say this? And once again, say it with me, guys. Is the NBA getting better and better? If you have not watched that and you still listen to me, you are doing me a disservice and yourself a disservice. How many times did I say fast breaks are being ruined in today's league? Are you kidding me with what happened at the end of that Denver-Washington game last night? Can you believe Michael Maga Porter Jr. and Facundo Campazzo ran straight to the three-point line. Jamal Murray stopped at the three-point line. You know, and everybody, I saw one of my boys, Asher, who we had on the playoff preview before the glorified summer league, made a tweet talking about how the analytical decision is to say to go for a layup. That's not analytics that's telling you to go for three, but the movement of analytics to shoot those threes and to be programmed and trained to run to the corner for threes is not good basketball. It's got them stuck in their head. They're not playing situational. It's ruining fast breaks, and it cost them the game. A wide open lane. I don't want to hear all these excuse makers. They were going for the win. No. That's when you have a decent look at it too, and then you go for a three and risk it. Not when you have a wide open layup. That's a loss. And it's not like the Nuggets are doing very well right now. That's horrible basketball, and it's just terrible. It's exactly what I talk about. Garbage basketball, garbage product. Magic Johnson and the Showtime Lakers are rolling over rolling over. Freaking John Havlicek is rolling in his grave watching that garbage of a fast break. Can you believe that? That's what our league has come to, that Michael Porter Jr. And by the way, it is an analytics problem. It's just an IQ, because you act like that doesn't happen in other games. We've talked about it hundreds of times on this show. They run to the corner. They're trained to do it. Fast breaks are being ruined, and they did not know the situation of the game. Awful basketball. Terrible basketball. Lower IQs than ever. Anyway, good thing the Nuggets lost. Great win for the Wiz. I didn't watch the game because, as I said, I'm toning it down a bit. I'm still going to I'm not going to delete the Wizards as a dime dropper team. I did always say that I'm going to stick with I didn't say I was going to remove the Wizards. The Wolves are done. I'm done with them. They're removed from dime dropper teams. But the remaining 8 we'll still watch. I just, watch the Celtics, Lakers, and Clippers every game, basically. The others, most games. But we'll see. I didn't get to watch the Wizards game. Tomorrow, we will not be live. Tomorrow, I'm taking a break. There's no Clippers or Laker games, so we're good. I'll just watch games so I can come back to you on Sunday with a better recap. I'll try to see what I can watch tonight. I don't know if I'll watch the Suns. Maybe I'll watch the Warriors. I think I'm going to watch the Warriors. Warriors game. And I don't know. Were there any other dime dropper teams that played today? The Celtics. Yeah, I'm going to watch the Celtics, and I'm going to watch the Warriors, not the Suns. But anyway, that's it for me tonight, guys. Thanks so much. Now I'll go to the live subscribers for the next 6 to 10 minutes. Peace out. Let me know what you think. Episode 52, Jamal Wilkes style. Have a good night. What's up, y'all? I rate the move. No, it's not okay, guys. That's bad basketball. It's not about going for the win. They lost. Like, they had a clear layup. You don't do that when you have a clear layup. You do that when you have an okay layup, maybe. Garbage. That's not good basketball. Come on. Stop making excuses for these guys. Stop making excuses for the poor decisions in the NBA. Stop making excuses for the poor fast breaks. That shit is trash. It's not subjective. That's trash. That's not good basketball because they lost. And they deserve to lose in that decision. You had a wide open lane. Come on, guys. The Nuggets are not playing well. They're barely in the playoffs, guys. It's not like they're the Jazz and they're 10 games above 500 or whatever the fuck they are. Stop with the excuse making, guys. Stop. Steph Curry can't be blamed for people making stupid decisions, man. Steph Curry doesn't do that. Steph Curry is a very smart basketball player. Thank you. Thank you. What's Showtime Lakers 5-part documentary? What are you talking about? Nick the French Jordan Batum. Damn, Kawhi Leonard's a troll now? Impersonate Steve Kerr and commentate Compazzo breaking the three? What do you mean? Hey, Jonah. It does show Schroeder is. Happy birthday, Rag to bitches. Happy birthday. What you doing tonight? I don't know. Steph Curry doesn't. I don't blame Steph Curry for bad decision making, guys. He's a supernatural. What's up? What's up, Brandon? Showtime Nick, even at a rec league, they don't let you do that unless you're your own coach. But no youth coach will, even an old parent doesn't know anything about basketball, will say that that's a good decision. What documentary are you talking about? Yeah, facts, J Love. But it's situational, man. I feel you. Yeah, Steph Curry. It's just like Jordan. He was one of the main starts of ISO ball, but it's not his fault that people went to ISO. Not everyone's Michael Jordan. You got to know yourself. PG, he just played within the flow of the game, Wilson. Was a good game, just played within the flow of the game. Made plays for his teammates. Should have got double digits assists, but they didn't make him. LeBron, oh my God. Are you new to my channel, Mario Mind? How do you think that? Must not like winning. Okay. Where you live, Rector bitches? What state you from? I know. I saw Murray call out his teammates on that tweet. I saw that. What's up, Dime? Good bounce back game for the Clippers. Way more energy tonight. Facts. And you guys see what I say. It's all about effort and energy, in sports. It's all about effort and energy. That's the biggest thing that these guys lack that I criticize in today's league. If Spurs lose, they'll be the 5th seed. Okay, William Nayu. Have you still not watched the NBA getting better and better? Are you going to keep up with the casual takes? Nah, Melo should end out the season, Jared Hilton. Do I think Kawhi is a top 3 MVP? Probably not. I don't think so. I think it's JoJo. I think LeBron, just because of the fact that he's played every game, I'd give him the nod over Kawhi. I think Donovan Mitchell. No, I think Stephen Curry has been better than Kawhi. I really do. I've watched enough Warriors games that I can make that determination. Stephen Curry's been better than Kawhi. More consistent. I wouldn't say use the word more consistent, more available. How about that? More available, and he's exploded some. And he doesn't have anybody that's played as well as PG, to be honest. I think it's just Joel Embiid, and right now you can argue 2 through 5 all day long. Donovan Mitchell's in the conversation, Jokic is in the conversation, LeBron, Kawhi, Dame. I mean, you can go on, but I still think it's Embiid. Inglewood is Los Angeles County, Zach. Get out of here. A bunch of Laker fans live in Inglewood. That's where the Lakers were, champions. I'm not new, just haven't chatted. Okay. Draymond Green, 19 assists. Wow, really? Jesus. No, Michael Todd, that's not make or miss league, bro. Stop with the excuses, dude. That's a layup to tie the game. Stop. That's not a make or miss league. That's stupid. That's not a good shot. Bro, who taught you to play basketball? How old are you, Michael Todd? You can't be that young to think that's good, bro. There's no one in the world that thinks that's a good play. Unless you're 12. No, it's not. William Nayu, it's not. How can you say that? How can you watch this and think it is? Unless you like threes. That's all you care about, I guess. I mean, you're a Warriors fan, so it's probably all you do care about. But I don't know, man. All right, Zach, then leave. Why are you here then if you think my basketball input sucks? Why are you here? I know, I agree with you, Wilson. We should not bench Kennard. The Warriors are going to upset someone in the playoffs? We'll see. Kawhi was injured, though? Some games he kind of was. Some games he had contact tracing. He's missed games, man. Period. He's missed games. I think one of them was for load. 1 or 2 of them was for load. But LeBron hasn't missed a game, and I think they've been pretty even. And I think LeBron's had to do a little more. He wasn't garbage today at all. Paul George played great. What are you watching? You're just looking at the box score. Lakers own it. Okay, buddy. Are you getting insecure about the Lakers being the number one team in the city? I don't understand. Goat man, Goat man. Yeah, that's him. Bro, I didn't see Kareem or Jordan tonight. Or Russell. Zach, you're in my live. You say that one more time, you're done. Finished. We don't play. I don't think LeBron is right at his back, J Love. I think you're just overrating LeBron and being biased. It's just not true. If that's the case, then Kawhi's on his back, Jokic is on his back, Steph's on his back, and Dame's on his back. And Donovan. What are you talking about? Terrence was great. Terrence was great. I already talked about him. Athletes are more durable, yet we have the most injuries ever in a shortened season and they can't play 82 games, but they're the most durable. Keep telling yourself that. They can't even play 82 games, more resting than ever, more load management than ever. They play less hard than ever in the least physical league, but they're more durable. Really, William Nayu. Come on, bro. You're a fool. You can't run this on me. I'm not casual. I'm going to just debunk all your bullshit. It's very clear. More durable. And these guys, we have a question every single night, who's missing the game, and you're talking about more durable. It's a bad play. It's not good basketball, Michael Ta. Warriors are going to make the playoffs. No, they wouldn't have swept the Raptors, Andrew. You guys would have gotten a game or two. I think you would have won 2 games. Losing Grant and Plumlee did hurt the Nuggets. Okay, Mazza. All right, you want to leave, Mazza? Zach, you want to leave? I'll give you another chance. I think Wiseman and others still need to improve their activations, but I do think they are championship contenders with Clay. I really do. Hey, Max. Thanks, John Lentz. I could have done better in that video, though. But just for the Jordan LeBron, that answers that. I don't think Jordan's the GOAT necessarily. I don't answer that question. I know. Terrence is taking Luke Kennard's minutes. Team man starting to blossom. Let's go. Lakers prove tonight the Clippers are trash. Is it true that Wilt Chamberlain has 50 NBA records? I don't know. Wilt Chamberlain is the record king. In the stats, you need to have everyone else, then you have to have Wilt. He's in a class of his own statistically. That's the thing, Jarrett Hilton. I don't know. Dame needs to play. I think Dame, personally, Jarrett, needs to play with somebody better than him to win a championship. I really do. Because, like, how many people are... CJ's great, but how many people are, like, not as good as him that are better than CJ? It's a fine line. And are they going to help him win the championship? He's already... I feel like the conference finals, he's peaked as the best player. Dime, do you think Rasheed Wallace and Chris Webber have been snubbed for Hall of Fame? For sure, Chris Webber. Rasheed Wallace, maybe, but hell, I think he was a great player, Rasheed. Game was slower paced. Game was slower, but more physical, more on the body, tougher defense. And by the way, that doesn't apply to the 80s, 70s, or 60s. That was faster. So try again, buddy. Try again. Stop dancing around it. Stop dancing around it. You're wrong. You're just wrong. Jason Kidd was great, man. He was one of my favorites. I really miss him. One of the most intelligent players I've ever seen. Could do it all. That's because you're listening to casual narratives. They said the Pistons were out of their prime at 31 years old. You're listening to casual narratives, bruh. But players did, for like longevity, yes, they didn't have the same resources to stay around longer. But that's also because they played harder every single night. Every single night. Played 82 game seasons. That actually wears on you. Not when you rest. That's the whole point, to have longer years. They play less. That's nothing to do with durability. That's because of the medicine, the technology, and that's because they're saving themselves. They're not playing as hard. And they weren't out of their prime at 31 years old like that. That's just that's Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen getting into their prime, and then no more flagrant foul, a lot of different things. Stop with the casual narratives, buddy. No problem, Maxwell. LaMelo, easy rookie of the year. Huh. Yeah, sure, Mazza. I don't believe you. My favorite part of the Clippers this season is consistent energy and effort to start games and much better coaching. Much better coaching. No way, Andrew M. Not as much rag to bitches. But I don't know about Dave, Beal, CJ, and Dame. I feel like that's Beal and CJ do a lot of the same. I don't think the East sucks that bad. LeBron would average 35 if he tried. Yes, and he would probably lose every single game. That's not his game. Or he would be inefficient if he tried to do 35. Or his team would lose. He wouldn't get anyone involved. Jesus. 35? I don't even know about that. They'd lose. He'd have to sacrifice his efficiency for that. In the 90s? Okay, stop. You don't know anything about basketball, William Neu. No, he wouldn't. Get out of here. In a league where, imagine LeBron in a league with not only just hand checking, with a 3-second, no defensive 3-second violation, you camp out with bigs, and all of his points throughout his career, majority of them have come through in the paint. Get out of here. Stop. I'm not saying he couldn't play. He'd still be great. He'd still be a fantastic player. But it wouldn't be easier for him. That's where you guys are completely out of your freaking minds. William Neu, you're one stupid comment away from getting banned from the lives permanently. I'm not going to let you watch the lives, any of my lives, until you watch the NBA getting better and better, because that's more important than this. You're not getting, there's no point of being my subscriber if you haven't watched that video. Yeah, that's the Magic Johnson, not Lakers. More about Magic. That's what I heard. But 5 parts? Are you sure? Are you sure it's not 3 parts? My favorite NFL player? Either Reggie Bush or Todd Gurley. Or Aaron Donald is up there for me now. I don't think it's a bad signing, J. Cool. Yet. Overpriced? Sure. CJ for Beal, I don't know if that does too much, but I mean, it'd be great. Good trade, I guess. AAU era, Jarrett Hilton. Increase of the AAU era. I hope so, Michael Taub at the blow up. I'd rather play the Suns in the second round, of course, Frosty. He would adjust. Okay, if he would adjust, then what about the old players? In that case, if you're talking about he would adjust, then we're adjusting. Michael Jordan with adjusting for threes, motherfucker would average 45 a game in today's era. If you want to talk about he would adjust. Larry Bird would average like 35, 10, and 10. Get out of here. We can talk about adjust. We can talk about adjust. He wouldn't average 35. You don't understand? Players used to actually play defense all the time. It wasn't like a rarity like this. Like, oh, what a great defensive energy tonight. Get out of here. Sixers have been better this season. I mean, Glenn Rivers has got them playing the right way. They're running stuff through Embiid more than Simmons, and it's paying off, letting Simmons focus more on defense, and he knows how to get more out of Tobias Harris. They surrounded them with shooting. It's a better roster. Facts rack to bitches about the Blazers comparison. Oh my God, what are you talking about? LeGoat won't jeopardize his team's success for personal stats, even though we know each stats. Bro, he's done that before with Cleveland. I don't know if it's been detrimental to whole series, but definitely could have gotten more out of his teammates sometimes. Oh, but I can. Watch this. Later. I think he's done better. No, he's just a modern era jock sniffer, J. Cool. I know the Knicks are in playoff position. All right, Maz, I'm going to mute you for a bit. You're getting annoying. I don't think LeBron's going to go up to back to averaging 40% from 3, but you never know. What is Ty doing? Disciplining the players and not just playing players because of who they are. If they're not playing well, he benches them. That's what you saw Reggie Jackson. That's why he's been playing so much better with different effort. When he brings them in, he actually adjusts mid-game. You know what I'm saying? He actually makes challenges when he actually thinks he feels necessary in the middle of the game. We adjust game to game. There's more ball movement. There's much more off the ball movement. That's the biggest difference. Much more off the ball. Doc's offense was just pick and roll, high pick and roll, Kawhi and Zoo, and then just like a basic curl for Paul George, and then Kawhi post up. But I think we've done the triangle sets with Ty. But I just like the energy, it's just totally different energy in the team. He has the team motivated, and he was willing to play Terrence Mann and give him a chance. And I just love that about him. The off the ball movement, I'd say, is the best part. The off the ball movement and the ball movement. Just the emphasis on like a system, like we actually next man up mentality. I still think the Lakers will win the championship as it stands. I still would have picked them if I had to make one pick. I would ban William. He needs to learn about basketball without the casual takes. He's listening to my channel, so he should be. Nah, he's coming to the lives, bro. They don't mean anything. You're not actually learning about basketball with the lives, in my opinion. Best center of all time is either Kareem or Bill Russell. There's no other argument there. Unless you want to talk about stats. If you have a statistical view of the game, then Wilt. But Bill Russell or Kareem are the best. It's all up to Kawhi, Astro. He needs to do it. I already answered that the other day, Jonah. Hakeem. Kawhi quit. I thought I'd be more positive this season and only call him that when he played that way. So yesterday was quit. I called him that a couple of times when he played poorly this season, but I'll give him the benefit of a new coach. We'll see. I gotta be somewhat positive. Nah. No free William. I'm done with that fool. No, J Love. Quinn Snyder or Tom Thibodeau for Coach of the Year. I still think Pop is up there. I don't think Brad Stevens. Yeah, Brad Stevens is not a top 3 coach right now. Yeah. Yes, sir. Nick the French or Jordan Batum. I don't think Ty Lue should win Coach of the Year. I think it's Jerry West. I think Kobe, I love him to death. He's too polarizing to be the logo. And I think that it's better to have Jerry because his legacy is already crapped on too much as it is. And it's very unfair to him. And I think that Kobe, everybody knows. And I think that would be more of an emotional choice. I think Kobe is still hated by a lot of people, man. He really is. Jonah Kim, failures. I want, failures. Off the team. I'm just kidding. I don't know about off the team, but whatever. Let's not think about that. One game at a time. We're enjoying the ride. 2019 Damian Lillard. I'd say him because he's both a leader and he could play as a secondary. I think Dame could do what Kyrie did. I truly do. And I think that he's a better leader. Shaq is not the best center of all time, dude. He can't make a free throw when it matters. He can't. He'll make one, but he also, the era that he played in was very specific. Some of the stuff that he got away with then, he couldn't get away with now, and he couldn't get away with it more so in the 80s. I think he'd kill now, for sure. But in the 80s, you couldn't just hammer people in like that. And I just think that his free throw shooting, and he's not the best defender. And bro, he needed a top 3 shooting guard every time. He has no argument over Bill Russell or Kareem. None, in my opinion. Just dominance or peak. That's about it. I think Shaq's overrated by a lot of modern fans, personally. That's my boy, Mr. Zeke, though. There we go, J Love. Kyle Dominic, have you not listened lately? I talk about Boston every night. So go check out the recap from last night. Go check out my various recaps. I have a whole folder of them that's on my channel. If you go to my channel and go to playlists, I have it. And I have timestamps every episode for the Celtics. So go check it out, man. There's a lot wrong with them. I don't know if I can't get into it right now. I've done it before. They are the biggest disappointment this season, I'd say. Yeah, it did look solid, and clips did look great, Claudio. Thank you, Mr. Zeke. I've been watching the NBA for 15 years. 16, actually. It's my 16th. But I'm a historian, lover of the game, study its history. I made these 3 videos. Is the NBA getting better and better? You should go watch them. It will change your view of the game of history. It's a realization I had, and it made me respect a ton about the old game and realize how modern fans and media are being manipulated every single day. And all these fans don't prioritize the right things when talking about basketball. It's too obsessed with stats. It's too obsessed with me, and it's too obsessed with what's going on the ball, the flashy. It's not about the intangible. It's not about the attitude, the effort, the winning, the little things, the non-stats, the watching the games, the history of the game, the studying, having an open mind. All that is lost. Wilt is the most dominant for sure. The bench? I don't think so. It's the coach, J Love. I think Zach's done better as defense. Who do you think is the GOAT? I'm guessing MJ or Bill Russell. I'll tell you this right now, man. I'm not going to answer that question. I don't have one, but I think that there are a couple people with a substantial claim as the GOAT. And I think that honestly, guys, 1989 Patrick Ewing, 2000 Shaq. I have to say 2000 Shaq, but I haven't seen 1989 Patrick Ewing. That's very specific, and I need to watch. I'll tell you what. This will be my last quote of the night. I watched a little bit of it, Andrew M. I thought some of it was good. Some of it was a little Gen Z bot stuff to an extent. Jimmy High Roller, I lost all the respect for him after that video that has manipulated 4 million people into thinking that you couldn't double team in the past and that scoring used to be easier. I just lost a lot of respect for him for that. I actually commented on him. I think he should take that video down because it's really manipulated 4 million people. I had to argue with somebody on Twitter today. He thought he was like making good points at me. He's like, they couldn't even double team. They couldn't double team. They couldn't help. They couldn't play help defense. Bro, I lit him up. I was like, dude, even, it's funny. The Legend of Winning actually commented on my tweet. Like, these guys are just dumb. But, I mean, it's the spacing. It's really the spacing, the three-point influx, the rules, all that put together. The pace, the shots. We talked about it as the NBA getting better and better. I don't need to see anything anyone else says. I know what's happening. I watch more basketball than you need to. I'll tell you what. Here are my people that I'm going to decide between the GOAT when I watch. Bill, I've already seen basically his whole career, almost basically all of it that's available. He's got an amazing cage. No, Jimmy High Roller definitely has some decent videos. He's a good creator, but I can't respect him after that video, man. It's too damaging what it did. It touched 4 million people, man. 4 million people. So the only thing with Legend of Winning is he has what I used to have. If you go watch Is the NBA Getting Better, I said there are some fans who think that the 80s are great, but they don't know about the 60s and the 70s and think it's way weaker just because the NBA was way less popular. That's what I used to be. That's what Legend of Winning is. I saw that one of his tweets. He's like, I'm not talking about the 70s. That's because of the dribbling rules. The 70s players were like, there's not that much difference between 1979 and 1980, but the way the storybook of basketball is told, then you will think that because 1980, you'll think Magic's era was so much better than when the Sonics won. It's one difference. What video of Jimmy High Roller? I don't want to encourage you to watch it, but it's called You've All Been Lied To. It's the worst video on YouTube, in my opinion, because of what's in the video. It really contaminated people's minds. If you watch that video, you have to watch Legend of Winning's response. It's linked in. Watch my video. Fuck all their videos. Watch Is the NBA Getting Better and Better? The link to Legend of Winning's video is in my video, in part 3. It's called The Truth About 90s Defense. But here's my... Yeah, I like thinking basketball. Some of his videos have been, just for my liking, a little too stat-oriented, but they have been good. The ones I like when he shows the footage. Although, something that's really weird is that a lot of kids seem to be like stans of that guy, Ben Taylor, and are like having weird takes because of it. Like they think like Garnett is comparable with Kobe now. Like, what are you talking because of his video? Because I saw he made a peak video about Garnett. But no. But yeah, that was weird. But yeah, is the NBA getting better and better? I talked about all these things, the defenses and all that. But yeah. Who are you talking about? Yeah, Memphis fans suck. So yeah, watch that video. I haven't seen Johnny Arnett. I've seen some of his videos. Like he's the one that makes the how good was blank really, right? How good was Oscar Robertson really? Who are you talking about, DB the King? But Yeah, that's my take on those videos. So don't be an idiot. Be informed. I made those videos for a reason. Go watch them. Yeah, Legend of Winning. That's the only thing. Don't sleep on the 70s players, boys, and the 60s. It's just the dribbling rules that make them look awkward. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Let's get this video to 40 likes before we end it. Let's go. 48 of you in the live. I better see that live up to 40 likes at least. 50 likes? We going for 50? Let's see it. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. 35. Come on, gentlemen. A1 Hoops. Here's the problem with A1 Hoops. I don't know what videos he makes, actually. I haven't seen his videos, but my thing with A1 is he's not a Gen Z bot. He's what we call a millennial bot. He's really into the bag and Jordan. Like, to him, like, there's no argument with Jordan. And, like, people that are super standing of one player, which is what he is, I don't love those. He was getting roasted about this Bill Russell's case over Jordan. He was getting left and right. Here's my thing. You can think Jordan's better than Bill Russell, and you can say, oh, in my mind, it's clear. But if you deny there's an argument, that's the problem. You can't deny the arguments. Facts, Claudio Ferry. I don't know. There's very few, man. Kenny? I don't know his taste on the history of basketball, but he knows what he's talking about when it comes to modern basketball. That's all I know. I think there's just every single fan, man. Andrew M., again, I'm going to correct your statement. What you said is opinion. I don't know if that's true. Peak LeBron is as good. I don't know if that's true. I personally don't think it's true. Because I think they're more of team players, and it's their ability to play off the ball that separates them. I think it's arguable. I think it's guaranteed. I think you can argue maybe LeBron's is better, but I think that you can maybe argue theirs is better. But there we go. I'm out for the night, guys. I think there's just the main thing is I think there's just like every single content creator I find, for the most part, it's very rare that I see them that like they have a true appreciation for all the eras of the history of basketball. At least like the younger YouTubers that are around my age. I don't know. LeBron. I don't. Astro. Have you seen Bird play? Because I'm starting to have doubts. I used to think that too, but I really think so. Jared Hilton. Bing, bing, bing. That's it for me. That's it for the night. Once again, it was much harder than you think. It was not easy. He had to play with very freaking tough circumstances. Go watch my video. Is the NBA getting better and better? This is the dude, first of all, that's playing 48 minutes in Chuck Taylor's, playing in short rotations against Wilt Chamberlain 30% of the plus of the time, and, not being served at restaurants. Real racism was going on back then. Real racism, not getting served at restaurants, not being able to go to the same bathroom as his teammates, drink with the same water fountain as his teammates. Come on. It was, you got to go. Jared Hilton, I know you're a new subscriber. Go watch those videos, man. You will learn a lot. I used to think the same about Bill. No, I'm not going to listen. If you are going to debate with me, you need to watch that video. You can't play devil's advocate here. All right. That's true. What's it called? Andrew M. But it's not just about that. It's the actual basketball part about it too. At the end of the day, think about it this way. At the end of the day, there's only a couple teams that can actually win the championship in any era. Even in this one, there's only a couple. In the 60s, it was the same. And those teams were very stacked at the top. 3 stars or so on each team. I will say the 50s, not the hardest in my opinion. I don't think so. But the 60s, especially mid 60s and later, very tough. Like all of Russell's chips of like as of 65 and on are like really hard to me. Before that, a little easier, but he still had to beat the boss every time. He had to beat the showdown in Wilt. So go check it out, Jared Hilton. It'll really challenge your views. It's not really challenging. It's nothing not to believe. It's all facts that I listed and just some of it's observation. But anyway, 40 likes and I'm out. Come on, 40. And just remember this. Yeah, I agree, Andrew. And pre-60s booty cheeks. But that's an opinion though. That's not a fact. But I'll say this: pre-shot clock is booty cheeks. Fact. All right, guys. Peace out. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Another thing to remember, guys, when you say this stuff about Bill Russell, just remember this. It's not like he won 7 rings. He won 11 rings. That's not a little amount. That's nearly twice as much as the guy that everybody says is the GOAT. Peace.